This program brought to you by Racing Victoria, Off the Track Thoroughbreds, Horseware Australia, Bait Saddles, and Willinga Park.
In finding a second career for the thoroughbred, it's not one size fits all, and we need to make sure that we can find the right career for the right thoroughbred. The great thing about Jump Off is it shows that we have an opportunity for horses of all abilities from the racetrack. So we've got superstars such as Lankan Rupee, and we've got those horses that are not household names. The key here is that RE trainers and those involved in this program identify the best career for them. And some of the superstars will be good show jumpers, some of the less well-known horses will be great show jumpers.
Last time on Jump Off, our team of Olympic and Australian show jumpers had begun taking their thoroughbreds on their first outings. Some went beautifully.
Really good.
You can't ask for better than that for his first outing.
Others, not so.
Oh, the double though. Oh, the double! He said, hold on.
He had a little spook at a green jump he'd never seen before, which is expected.
Little spook, Dave nearly fell off.
Well, better not fall off at the first fence.
Hi everybody and welcome to Jump Off. I'm Hamish McLaughlin. Now a very important element in the second career for these retired racehorses is being able to perform in front of a big crowd, indoors and under lights for $100,000. In this episode, these horses get to experience some low-level jump days, but the pressure increases as they head to Queensland for the Aquis Championships. It's Australia's premier show jumping event. Now 5 teams have taken 2 horses each. Which horses get a berth on the trucks? Well, you'll have to wait and see. Last week we saw Russell Johnston jump Bolivar down at Bonio in his very first outing.
Oh, don't knock the last fence.
64.02.
Benny won a ribbon against all the kids.
Well done.
Good on you, thanks, mate.
However, he's about to compete in the next class today.
Hey, John. This is Bolivar.
Pardon?
Bolivar. Think of Bollywood.
Bolivar.
Bolivar.
Okay, thank you.
What are you looking at?
We come back to earth with a real thump when he spotted something behind that signage.
Whoop.
And he really had a little bit of a hissy fit and started to show us that Benny's got his own mind, and when he really sets his mind to it that he doesn't want to do it, that's what he's going to do. He got pretty hard to control too. He started to show his steering was a bit of an issue, but yeah, we thought this was going to be easy, but no, it's not.
Wrong way. Get back over here. It's all right, mate. You'll be right.
Here's about 45 seconds to get through. It's through. 1. 2.
Get up.
All right. It's different this time, isn't it? Something upset me. So that'll be 4 at B.
Yeah.
It's 8 at B, so that's his second refusal, right? So he's got 1 more left.
Yeah.
So it's total 12 there. Seven. Oh, no, this is getting interesting. Sideways. Yeah. 4 at 9. And 4 at 10. So that's 8 and 8, total 16. Once we work out time after.
I can't deny that this horse has got to jump. I mean, out of all of the ones that we've tried, he's the one that wants to get up in the air. He's got a really good back end.
Oh, that spoiled his good record.
When he spotted those dogs, he wasn't going anywhere near that corner. You'd think we're going to a dog show, not a horse show. I don't know, all these bloody dogs.
Today, Vicky Roycroft's taking her chosen horses over to Yandu Park to mix it with some of the other jump-off horses.
The adventure's sort of progressing. I started off with the 6 from Godolphin. Now we sort of scratched 3 of them fairly early in the piece. 2 really didn't look like they could jump at all. And 1 I just thought was a little bit young. The other 3 that I kept, the one that looked the most impressive early on, he's actually really continued on. He's a 5-year-old in a circle. This is the Star. I'm not saying he's going to go to the Olympics or anything, but he's just a very... So both the ones I had here today are good little old lady horses. They've got nice brains, nice temperaments. They want to do the right thing.
She even brought along a little mate.
Sausage goes everywhere. She loves the truck.
Is this still Sprocket?
No, this is Sprocket's grandchild. That's Polly.
Vic's favourite, the Chestnut, is out first today. Yandu Park has a perfect arena for training.
In a circle, who's the first one I had here, and he's only 5 years old, and he ticked all the boxes as far as I was concerned for this job. He hadn't raced too much. It's a brave thing, so he didn't have too much wear and tear, and but he knew how to, he knows how to walk, trot and canter, and the bonus is that he's got quite a lovely natural jump and quite a great, lovely attitude, so I'm very happy with him. He seemed great today. He's not super careful. He's brave, which is nice, but yeah, he's a bit dumb. He won first up as a 2-year-old, this horse, and apparently he's very, very well bred. But I could imagine he only won because he's easy, you know. He would have known how to go in a straight line and done whereas most other 2-year-olds are so green and gawky. And after that, he didn't do any good. Well, I'm not surprised.
Dave Cameron was getting an insight into his opposition.
And then we've got our newest recruit, whose name is Striker Rose. This is the mare that only arrived 2 days ago. So I wanted to make sure she was okay with travelling, because a lot of them think they're going to the races and they get really stressy, but she seems to be really sweet. But it's a steep learning curve. Hey, little one. She sort of started to figure it out, and because she wasn't very fit, I thought I better sit on her and see if she's not too crazy. So I took her back to my arena and rode her in the arena, and she was pretty good. So that was day 1. And then day 2, which was yesterday, just got straight on her on the arena, and she was very obliging and could walk, trot and canter and hop over a couple of little cavalettis. And day 3 has been to be dragged onto the truck and, and brought here. But how cute is she? The only thing she does have is a little bit of horse shyness, which a lot of race horses have. She's a little bit scared of the other horses are near her, but otherwise she's really taken to this jumping caper like a duck to water. Good girl.
Striker Rose seems to be up for the jump-off challenge.
She did, quite a lot today, which, as I say, for day 3 is amazing. So yeah, look, you can only do what you can do with them, and I'm happy with the progress with those particular guys anyway. For her 3rd time ever jumping, and 3rd day being ridden after coming out of a field. I think she's been sitting in a paddock for about a year or so. She's really doing a great job. Like I said, I don't think she's going to go to the Olympics, but she's like the other one, and they're both good little old lady horses. They're both sweet and easy enough to ride, and they sort of want to try and do what you want them to do, which is a really good attitude to have. No, I'm really happy with her. Really happy. Okay. And she stayed so good in the brain. So a lot of with these ex-race horses, they take a little while to... Well, you can see she's a little agitated now, but that's a horse thing. She's on her own. But so we'll take a nice walk up to the stables and finish on a good note.
Wise words of horse wisdom from three-time Olympian Vicky Roycroft. Coming up.
Sid was starting to get me concerned.
Okay, we're just looking for signs of lameness here, whether he's stepping out freely or not.
He's pretty bold. Yeah, if anything, he wants to take the fences on.
These jump-off riders nearly all run their own training businesses.
Half school again. And then Ingrid, I want you to do 2 15-metre circles around the brick wall. Good, good. Feel her stepping off your inside leg.
Today it's busy for Russell Johnston with lessons.
Down a little, inside, good.
And a vet arriving to check out Sid.
Sid was starting to get me concerned. We got his shoes on, no more excuses for tender feet, but he still was not stepping out. It was pretty obvious we had something else going on.
Okay. Sid. No swelling, Russell,
No swelling.
When he pulls up the next day?
No, look, we've got the vet out, and I mean, soundness is a very variable issue. I mean, there's things that can be managed, and if we can get on top of it early, it may not give Sid any more issues again.
So Russ, let's see him move. Can we see him move outside?
Sure.
Okay, we're just looking for signs of lameness here, whether he's stepping out freely or not. He's a little bit sore. He's a little bit sore in that sort of right front leg or the offside front leg in that straight line. So it'll be interesting to see how he looks on a circle. Now Russell's talking about this horse looking a bit stiff and a bit footsore. In general, that means they're a little bit lame. So yeah, slightly lame in that right front leg. 1 out of 5 lameness, mild lameness, but certainly exacerbated when you put him on that small circle. And likely that's related to what you've been noticing. So I think we need to work out why he's like that.
Okay.
We have a portable X-ray machine and a thoroughbred horse. We've got pretty much every breed of horse possible here. We're about to shoot. Little beep is the actual X-ray. So we can see with this horse, Russell, that the angle of the bottom of the solar margin of the pedal bone is pretty flat, which it is in a lot of horses. It's putting a lot of pressure through this sort of navicular area and through the tendon that runs down the back of the leg. Essentially, the X-ray looks normal.
So after the X-rays, we knew that we didn't have any major bone problems, so no structural issues. But we realised he didn't have some joint issues. He needed some maintenance with his joints.
This horse is probably just generally sore through the coffin joints. And if that's the case, we need to be injecting those coffin joints with a lubricant and an anti-inflammatory.
The decision was to give him some cortisone and some hyaluronic acid in the joint so we can improve his joint and stop any degeneration from continuing.
So with Sid on the mend, he'll be out for a few weeks. So Russell is now down to 2 horses, Extra Zero and the newcomer Bolivar. However, he's not going to stop the hunt.
A little bit of excitement in the camp. We've had a really good call from a young lady. She's got a horse, done a little bit of jumping, hadn't competed officially, shows some ability.
Hello, Rochelle speaking.
G'day Rochelle, Russell Johnston here, how you doing?
Good, thanks, Russell, how are you?
Look, I've run into a spotted bowler because one of these horses is having some soundness issues.
Yep.
Is your guy still available or around?
Yeah, he's just sitting up in the paddock at Mansfield.
And just fill me in again on what he's done, how old he is, all that sort of stuff.
He'd be rising 12, I think, this year. I've jumped him around a metre. He was a steeplechaser, but he was too sharp, he was too slow over the fences because he never touched anything.
Okay.
So he was not much good at that.
What was his race name?
His race name was Mr. Apostrophe.
We have to check this horse out. So I need to take the trip up to Mansfield. Travelled really well, really nice horse. Gave him a ride, excellent balance, very good attitude. And then we get a visit from his owner.
Not at all. Nice to meet you.
Really enthusiastic girl.
He was a $480,000 yearling purchased at Magic Millions Gold Coast by Team Hayes, who went on to win 9 races, including my 1 race ride on him where he won the Yay Cup. Here's my baby.
This horse looks pretty good, you know, he's very sharp in front. Probably not so, if he's got a weakness, it's his back end action over the jump. But, you know, he's doing a really good job and he's got a great attitude and he wants to be careful. He's pretty bold. Yeah, if anything, he wants to take the fences on a bit, so we just need to just go about it nice and quietly with him. when I got there a couple of times I like to just soften a little bit. It's because I want him to learn to get a little clever with what he's doing. And when I softened there initially, he sort of fell a bit through the fence, tapped the pole, but then he started to snap up quite nicely. So, no, he's good. And he's got such a good temperament.
Looks like Mr. O may be on the team for the big trip to Elysian Fields. Up next, we head to Queensland for the Aquis Championships at Elysian Fields. Remember, our 5 teams will all be going head-to-head in a warm-up competition in front of a big crowd. Stick around. Coming up.
She's got a great work attitude, but she jumps like Pepe Le Pew. Straight up in the air, all falling, taken down.
Our 5 teams will all be going head-to-head in a warm-up competition with a cash prize.
Looking forward to getting him in the ring and see how he handles this bigger show.
This week at Elysian Fields, our 5 teams will meet on their selected horses in competition at the Aquis event. This is their first chance to look at each other's horses in action. This event attracts the best riders and the best horses from all around the world, with massive prize money on offer. But for our jump-off riders, what's important is introducing their horses to the big stage. Wasting no time are 2 doyens of the sport, Russell Johnston and Vicky Roycroft.
How many in the queue, please?
Vicky and I were out early, nice and early. See, I was wondering where all these younger fellas were, but they must have been sleeping in, I think. Yeah, we were out there and seeing if we can get the upper hand on them.
Vicky's first ride for the day is Striker Rose.
She's got a great work attitude, but she jumps like Pepe Le Pew. Straight up in the air, all falling, taken down. But, you know, her heart's in the right place.
So 1 to Vicky, 2 to Cody, 3 to Rebecca, 4 to Brianna, 5 to Annabelle, 6 to Jasmine.
I'd like $1 for how many times I've done this before. I'd be a very rich woman.
This isn't a sport without incident.
Oh, I didn't see what happened there, but I'd say the horse might have been trying to stop and he just slipped behind. The ground's a little slippery at the moment because we're early morning.
For Vicky, having a clear run would be a massive start to her weekend.
Clear 11A and B. Vicky coming into the last. Clear 14.
She actually jumped a clear round. She hasn't jumped too many of those yet. As I say, she's got very much her own technique. But her heart's in the right place and she stayed calm and wasn't spooky. No, I couldn't be happier. She was great.
This weekend, there'll be keen eyes all around the arena.
Yeah, I saw Vicky's round. It's careful. Yeah, its technique needs a bit of work.
She has her own way of jumping, but like I say, Pepe Le Pew. But...
Vicky, a tough competitor.
Always looking for an edge, she is.
Today's event is the 80 centimetre class, and riders of all ages are competing.
So when you jump 8, jump 9, make sure you go past that.
So here we are, we're back in the 85 centimetre, and we're getting flogged by the kids again. That's always good for the ego. And not only that, we've gone to Elysian, so we've got the best kids around going against us. But never mind, we're here for the big picture.
After the bar was set by the kids, it was time for Russell to head out on Bolivar, or as he's known, Benny. And he's a horse that's really showing some promise.
He jumped super then, he really travelled well. He didn't get a flying change down the end, but that was probably onto his stiff side, so kind of expected that. There's lots to improve on. Attitude's probably the big one. He really drifts to the right, away from my right leg or into my right leg. That's why we struggle with that flying change to the left. But overall, no, really good. Good boy, Benny. It's only how the riders going in this class?
Supposed to be. It's supposed to be you, Vicky and David Cameron, but we haven't seen him yet.
Oh yeah, he's probably been busy with his students, has he?
Oh, possibility, I'd say, yes.
Oh, well, with a bit of luck, he might miss this.
Oh, well, you should.
That'd be good.
You know, more chance for you to have a win.
And there may be someone else missing this class.
The first day competition, we've had a young horse, I think it's a 7-year-old. It reared up and sort of, it lost balance, which is, it didn't mean to, but it lost balance and fell back into the stables. And then the ground one was pretty much road. It was really hard packed gravel. And I fell from quite a height straight onto the road, and I think it half knocked me out, and then the horse ended up falling straight on top of me. It wasn't great.
Jamie lets the officials know he won't be competing today.
Yeah, I just take it easy for a little bit. I've had a few concussions over the last year or two, so
After the checkup, he was given the all clear, but not allowed to compete for the rest of the day. Unfortunately for Russell Johnston, Dave Cameron has made it in time for his round. His team are always on the ball.
Well, it probably only takes us like 10 or 15 minutes to get him ready because they're always washed before, like at the show anyway. Dave will usually call and say his class is on, can you bring him down? Because he's got so many kids that he trains and everything. It probably takes us 10 or 15 minutes to clean him up and tack him up and down he goes.
Dave's first horse is Riot Man.
It's his first start at Elysian. A bit excited, big open space, but he feels pretty good. So yeah, looking forward to get him in the ring and see how he handles this bigger show.
And what makes a good show jumper?
Soundness for me comes first, soundness and type. The temperament is right up there. Dave, that one's not too bad.
No, he's not too bad.
Damn it. Rats.
Well, he was pretty good, eh?
I thought it was awesome.
No, he was a little spooky in the beginning, and then he was real good.
You got a little deep early on and he really jumped up really high.
No, he's
so then he settled and...
No, he's very good.
Good work. I'll see you back down here. Okay.
Up next is Pete McMahon. He's entered Gotta Take Care or Woody in the metre 10 class.
One a little quieter and a little deeper.
He's the only jump-off horse to enter at this level.
Thanks, guys.
Woody's ready to compete, but Pete isn't.
Who's got a jacket? Jamie, another jacket?
Typical Peter style, he goes in the ring, goes up to the judge, turns around, comes back out. I'm like, what's wrong? And he goes, I don't have my jacket. Pete, you only have to remember one thing, your clothing.
It's safe to say that Woody is out to impress.
This horse better not be too bloody good, it's in the metre 10 already. Pete, I'm jealous. That one's not too bad.
And that's nice to hear for Woody's owner.
He looks $1 million. I'm wrapped.
Really good.
Yeah.
After the break, Pete McMahon rolls around on his second horse, one that has the other competitors on watch.
This horse called Agent, isn't it? This is the one they paid $500,000. Puts up the air, doesn't it?
This week, we're at the Aquis Championships at Elysian Fields. The aim is to introduce the horses to the big stage, and it's the first time our competitors have had a good look at each other's horses.
Dave, that one's not too bad.
For Team McMahon Weir, their second horse, Agent, came into the racing world with a big reputation and a big price tag. And Russell's made his way down to check out this spectacular horse.
Good luck, Pete. This horse called Agent, isn't it? This is the one they paid $500,000 and didn't have a start. It's got a back end.
Look, he's very green at that height, but in saying that, you know, he's brave, he's careful. So we just need to work on his straightness, his jumps there, but he just makes little green mistakes. So this week and next weekend, it'll do him the world of good.
Aquis Champions Tour was founded 3 years ago. We incorporated the jump-off series just so we could have a sticky beak at all the others, get everyone together. Then everyone could have a gauge on each other's horses too.
So this is Mr. O, and he's going to jump in the 90 centimetre 2 phase. So we get to jump the first 9 fences. We jump them clean, we go into the jump-off. We just want to send him around and get to know him and let him get to know me too. Get a bit of experience.
For Russ, it was a pretty good round with only a minor blemish.
So he just jumped a bit through the fence instead of coming up.
Today, Jamie Kermond has handed the reins to his wife, Jamie Winning.
I'd obviously had a fair concussion. I wasn't feeling great. It was decided that I was pulling the pin for the day. I was going to be a spectator, so it was up to Jamie to pull some strings, change some stuff around, and she was a jockey for the day. But she's been doing all the work on the horses while I've been away, so they should be all right for her. But they get these first time sort of at a proper show, and there's so much going on that they're a bit stirred up. So we'll just see what happens today. It's just about trying to go through the wings today. I'm happy enough. Hopefully Jamie is.
They felt that much more relaxed once they finished jumping in there. He's like, okay, fine.
Yeah. He didn't really care once.
A quick change up for Team Kermond. Next up, Roland.
He's a cool horse, this one. Both these horses are always like so happy and excited. This horse is a lot spookier than easy. Rollins does get a little spooky at like gates and boards and all the stuff that the course builders put in the courses for the horses to spook at. It still looks to him a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes here. A good start for the horse, and we'll reassess after today, see what we have to do.
On a deadline, ironing out any problems is a challenge.
Well, you just got to work out sort of what they're spooking at and just training them a little bit. Like, we're used to having these horses that we take out times with, but with these ones we're really under like a time frame, and it's going to be we're going to be under the pump a little bit.
With so many demands put on horse and rider at these competitions, it's very important to have a comfortable setup, and there's no one more experienced than Vicky Roycroft.
Welcome to my home away from home. It's a good setup here, nice big fridge. That's my bedroom up there, and yeah, this is where life goes on. The saddlery and the gear. So this is the nerve centre. Getting a little scruffy now because we're near the end of the show and we're all getting a bit knackered, but yeah, this is life at a horse show. This horse is in a circle, red and the purple, by Winx's sire. Apparently only won one race though, so he was not the superstar on the track, but he's showing a lot of promise at this game. I love him. He's got a great brain and very athletic, and looks like he's going to do the job.
This morning, Dave Cameron's keen to check out the opposition's horses.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty good. Oh, that's a good start.
However, the run wasn't completely clear. Russell was there for support.
That was all right.
No, I was very happy with him, you know, but he's such a dude, he just takes literally everything in his stride, you know. What do you want me to do? Oh, I'll do that? Yeah, fine, I can do that.
Number 14, Russell Johnston.
Judging today is a lady who's well qualified for the job.
I know all the riders personally. I used to compete at World Cup level myself, so I've ridden against most of the riders. I've been very impressed with all of the horses. There hasn't been one I've gone, oh, it shouldn't be in it. I think they're all improving day by day, and by the end of the series, they'll be all competitive.
Russell's up next on Benny, and the jumps aren't the only challenge.
I just spotted that big screen over the other side there. Saw the other horses jumping in the big screen and it really distracted him. That's all part of show jumping, so he's just got to get used to it. And the more he goes out, the better he'll get. He just knew it wasn't himself. If it was him up there, it would have been all right, but it wasn't.
These competitions aren't without incident, and Jamie Kermond isn't the only one to have a fall.
I think I need a new strapper.
What happened? What happened?
The girth slipped off.
I think I might be in trouble tonight. I mightn't have done the girth up properly there, so that's right, yeah. Maybe the next horse might do a better job.
I'm riding back.
After the break, there's trouble in the Team Kermond camp.
It's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys.
You need to be like me here and just walk away.
We have been riders of baits for well over 30 years. And if you go into my tack room, you will find a history of bait saddles.
You've certainly put them to the test, riding them all day, every day for 30 years.
And I'm a fan.
Now, I know you're a fan of the Caprilli range.
That's right.
This is a very new leather for us. It's called a heritage leather, so it probably looks a little like some of the saddles you have in your tack room, in that it's got sort of an oiled finish, quite a traditional appearance. So it'll break in really, really nicely. It's really soft flap immediately, so it's nice and comfortable to ride in. The Caprilli range, as you know, is some of our oldest saddles.
As the morning breaks at the Elysian Fields Aquis event, our teams are on the move early, and Russell Johnston is first on the course with Mr. Apostrophe. Jamie Winning is sizing up the opposition.
Just checking it out. His horse looks very cute. I think Russell's doing a pretty good job on it. Yeah, Russell was good. Russell was really good. It's all right. It's a long distance race.
What'd she say? She's nervous?
Very.
If it's not in the yard in the morning, right?
You got Russell covered, that he's got nothing. We're strategically lulling everybody into a complete false sense of security. Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors.
But all jokes aside, there are some real concerns in the Kermond camp.
He's just got no idea what he's doing. He just needs to go back and jump smaller so he just pop around.
With the jump off looming, pressure is starting to show.
A snaffle? Yeah. There's no point even having it out here.
Do it. Go.
It's the only thing he needs to learn how to do. When I left Raposo, we had him in a metal egg bat snaffle, which I was really happy with the bridle on the horse. And I've got back and have changed a few things up. I think he's in a happy mouth now, they call it. But I just feel like he's not quite, he needs to accept the bridle a little bit more like he was at the start. And yeah, I was not so happy a couple of times.
What is it? Team Kermond pain? Feeling it.
It's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys.
You need to be like me, Jim, and just walk away.
Jamie Kermond, you're in!
This is Jamie's first round for the weekend, and he might be feeling just a little bit rusty.
It's going really well. Really well.
Overall, it wasn't a bad run.
Roland is talented, and easy, I think, is probably the one that in the end will be the easiest, so we'll see.
For all of our riders, this event at Elysian Fields is a fair test, with some added pressure on the Kermonds.
It was our first away trip with a baby, with the horses. He's 6 months today. I mean, we're very used to travelling with horses domestically, internationally, but it's just an added element when we've got our first child and working that out on the road. But we haven't gone too badly. Hopefully not shame ourselves compared to the other people involved.
All the teams are dealing with the pressure of this first competition in their own way.
Stop. I can see him.
But there's no playing games with Vicky Roycroft.
Yamo, get out here. Come on, get your sorry Spanish ass out here.
Hot Spanish ass.
It's a cute sorry Spanish ass. Just pop that down one, yeah? A little more ground line, please.
Game on.
Game on.
Game on, Vicky.
Whilst Pete and Vicky mount the challenge, Team Kermond have snuck into one of the main arenas.
Jamie's given Roland a run around in this ring. Just a little outing before the main ring, because it's going to be quite spooky for him out there. Whoop, whoop. Bit deep there. Pretty good. Nearly jumped a clean round.
Travel better, he was way more relaxed in it. I have to retrain all those bad habits you've given him. So. But we got there. We're not here to win prize money. We're here to have good experiences, and I think that the judges understand that.
Next up is Pete McMahon on Woody.
Get going, Pete. He's hanging up and down. Open it up. Oh,
Whoa! And he got tinny at it. I think your other one's better, right?
He actually was really good in the first half, and then he just got a little bit messy down that line and got on his mouth too much, so not the result we wanted, put it that way.
After the break, our jump-off horses head into the main arena.
So Vicky Roycroft had the rail down, so she's carrying 4 jumping penalties.
And amongst the equestrian public, it's well supported.
It's really exciting to see all the thoroughbreds, also the promotion of the sport.
It shows the rest of Australia what we do with our thoroughbreds. They're so versatile.
I think it's a great initiative.
The good part about thoroughbreds for me is their willingness. There's so many uses for thoroughbreds. They're, you've only got to look at them in polo and polo cross. For us in eventing, they're perfect. But then show jumping, you've only got to look at results. The jump off series was exciting to go to, was exciting to watch. Racing Victoria do a lot with off the track program, which means that a lot of trainers basically get in contact with them. If you're after your next thoroughbred, make sure you get in touch with the off the track program via their website.
After a week of challenges at the Aquis event, it was finally time for our jump-off horses and riders to take to the big stage. This will be their ultimate test before the jump-off grand final and a key part of their preparations.
So 2 steps for landing, and we're 1, 3. About here I normally stop and just quickly run through what I walked. 1, 2, watch out for the screen. 3, round stall tops onto 4, right hand turn the fan. 5, 6, and just a nice even canter down to 7. So if you get the jumps out of order, you're eliminated. If you get lost and you have to take a circle and cross your tracks, then that's seen as the same as a refusal. So it's 4 faults. So we're allowed to have, I think in this class we'll get 3 refusals before we get eliminated.
It's going to be a bit of an experience for all these horses because they've never seen anything like this before. So it's not the size of the fences at the moment, it's just going to be the whole atmosphere, and you know, there's a lot of stuff for them to look at.
First up was Dave Cameron riding Sunny, and his concerns seemed to be a theme.
I don't think the jumps are going to be the problem. The jumps they're not that exciting, they're not that big, but I think it's more everything else around the place. The big screen, the hill with the crowd on it. You know, I think that's more going to be the challenge.
First horse is on course in the saddle, 2-time Australian show jumping champion, David Cameron. Of course, they are riding for $5,000 here today in the first of the prelim rounds. And we will see 10 horses jumping here this afternoon.
It's really honest over a fence there. And over fence number 4, he just looked at the water tray, but really tucked up in front.
David Cameron, 87.03 the time taken, 87.03.
A great round by Dave Cameron.
Well done, mate.
Up next, Vicky Roycroft on Striker Rose.
Vicky had some top thoroughbreds in her time, and she's been the master at putting a horse to a big class. What a cool story Vicky is too, you know, she had the operation where she lost an eye, she's had a hip rebuilt, she's had a few rebuilds along the way and still going strong.
When these horses arrived at Vicky's place, she watched them all come off the truck and a really good look at them. This one caught her eye, they're a type that she really likes.
Well, Striker Rose safely over the last, 78.55 the time taken, 78.55, 4 jumping penalties.
A nice round from Vicky, but still there's room for improvement.
Well, she hit one pretty hard, otherwise it came down. I think it would have been. She was pretty good in there in the atmosphere. I would have thought she'd have reacted more, but she was actually pretty focused.
Well played, Vicky. Next was Russell Johnston on Mr. Apostrophe. And for his owner, this is a big day.
So it's been quite a big journey for Mr. and I. I've been around his whole race career. He's been retired for a couple of years now. So I hope this isn't the end. This is just the beginning of something special, I hope.
As we now welcome out into the arena, Russell Johnson. Three horses in. You know, we've got this massive 120 by 100 metre arena. It's a big ask for a good season going horse, but for these green thoroughbreds, this is a huge question.
And of course, they're only going to get the miles here today and only going to get better, having had a bit more time under their belt. I really can't wait to see them come to the grand final.
I've seen riders ride hard for $50. We've got $5,000 on the program here today. $100,000, the final winner's purse. Massive amount of money in the thoroughbred class.
One more.
Pressure ride to the last. Safely on the last and through the finish, 85.97, 85.97. Russell Johnson and Mr. Apostrophe.
Good start. Very exciting.
So with all those great results, the pressure was suddenly on Pete McMahon.
This horse had never, ever, ever jumped a fence until Pete put him over his first one. He is quite quirky and sharp. But he's coming and he's gone forward quite well. And let's see what Pete does now.
Very nice, but you wouldn't expect anything less from Pete. He's like the quiet assassin in the show jumping world. He just gets the job done. So Vicky Roycroft had the rail down, so she's carrying 4 jumping penalties. Peter McMahon, 2 fences left to go. Johnny English. Oh, rail down. Well, safely over the last and through the finish. 85 neat, 85.00. The 1 rail down, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4.
He's still learning. Everything out there was, he didn't sort of have a problem with it. He just jumped everything. Probably right area again, sort of come in on a bit of an angle to that octa.
Of all fences, he had the Kalora Lodge fence down. I don't know whether I was jinxed with it or not, but I actually made the bloody thing, so I felt like burning it. But anyway.
Well, what a great event at Elysian Fields. Seems a must for all show jumpers. Now these horses, they've come a long way in a short time, but it's getting to the pointy end of this competition. Next week, I'll jump off in the main arena at Elysian, and then I'll head to Bonio Park in Victoria to prepare for the jump off final. What a great journey for these retired racehorses. We'll see you next time on Jump Off.
Didn't react to the atmosphere, which was wonderful. Yeah, he's a real dude, this horse. He coped very well.
Yes, better than some of my Warmbloods. Can't ask for much more.
With 1 fence left to go, Pete has us on the edge of our seats.
Pete could easily win today, I think.
Behind every great man, there's a massive team that makes him look really good.
Welcome to Bonio Park for the final of Jump Off. Over the last 5 months, some of Australia's leading thoroughbred trainers and show jumpers have formed partnerships. And tonight, the final 10 compete right here for over $100,000.
Feel the adrenaline pumping out of this man here. This is his biggest ever show, he said.
What a fantastic exhibition of show jumping. Well done, Vicky.
The pressure will be on.
May the best girl win.
We'll see you next time on Jump Off.